Good morning, everyone. So, our today's lecture is on protein energy malnutrition, part 3. In part 2, we had discussed about the clinical features of marasmus. That marasmus results from rapid deterioration in the nutritional status, and the main sign of marasmus is severe wasting. The child has very thin look. He has only skin and bones, but there is no fat. There is no edema. And the particular look of the marasmus child is there is loss of the buccal pad of the fat that creates the wrinkled appearance, which gives a particular appearance of the face, that is monkey face, and baggy pant appearance, that is loose skin fold of the buttocks, which hangs down. Then axillary pad of the fat is also diminished. But in spite of all this, the child is very alert and there is no edema, there is no fat in marasmus. On the other hand, kwashiorkor. So in today's lecture, we will discuss about kwashiorkor. What is kwashiorkor? So let's continue our topic, kwashiorkor. So basically, kwashiorkor, it usually affects the children between the age group of 1 to 4 years. Kwashiorkor is more common in children between the age group of 1 to 4 years. And the main sign of kwashiorkor is pitting edema. Now here is the basic difference between marasmus and kwashiorkor. In marasmus, there is no edema, there is no fat, and the child is very thin. On the other hand, in kwashiorkor, there is pitting edema, and that edema, it usually starts in the legs. That edema initially starts in the legs and the feet and spreading in more advanced cases to the hands and the face. So basically in kwashiorkor, edema is initially starting in the legs and the feet, and in more severe cases, in more advanced cases, the edema may spread to the hands and even to the face. Because of edema, children with kwashiorkor may look healthy so that their parents view them as well fed. Because of the edema, the child appears very fat and the parents think that the child is full fed. He has eaten well, he is full fed. Because of the edema, the child looks healthy. Now, here is a kwashiorkor baby. This baby has a typical fat sugar baby appearance, and this is the prominent appearance of kwashiorkor, that kwashiorkor children, they have a fat sugar baby appearance. So general appearance of kwashiorkor, child may have a fat sugar baby appearance. Then edema is present in kwashiorkor, and this edema, it ranges from mild to gross and represents up to 5 to 20% of the body weight. Now this edema, it varies. It ranges from mild edema to gross edema. And this edema, this pitting edema, it represents approximately 20% of the total body weight. Then muscle wasting. Now muscle wasting, it is always present. Severe wasting is present in the marasmus also. In kwashiorkor also, wasting is present. The child is weak, hypotonic, and unable to stand or even walk. The baby, though the baby has the fat sugar baby appearance, these baby appear as they are healthy. But in real, they are very weak. They are very hypotonic and they have difficulty in even standing or walking. They are so weak because muscle wasting is present. Then skin changes. The skin lesions consist of increased pigmentation. The skin lesions, there is increased pigmentation, desquamation and dyspigmentation. Now pigmentation could be confluent, which resembles the flaky paint, or in the individual enamel spots. And this pigmentation, the distribution is mainly on the buttocks and the upper thigh. Then on the abdomen, petechiae. Petechiae can also be seen over the abdomen. And the skin. What happens to the skin? The skin actually peels and ulceration could also occur. In Kwashiorkor, if there are skin changes, then the skin may peel off, scaly skin, and it gets peel off, and even ulceration, skin even ulcerates. So ulcerations may also occur. And the lesions of the skin, because there is ulceration, so the lesions of the skin, they sometimes resemble as if they are burnt. So the lesions of the skin in Kwashiorkor, they resemble burns. And petechiae are seen on the abdomen. Skin lesions, they consist of increased pigmentation, desquamation, and dyspigmentation. Then pigmentation could be confluent, which resembles the flaky paint appearance. Then this distribution is particularly on the buttocks, perineum, and the upper thighs. And the lesions of the skin, they resemble burns. So the distribution is typically on buttocks, perineum, and upper thigh. Petechiae is seen over the abdomen. Outer layer of the skin may peel off and ulceration may occur, and the lesions may sometimes resemble the burns. Now mucous membrane lesions, smooth tongue, ichthyosis, and angular stomatitis are common. Now these are the mucous membrane changes, mucous membrane lesions. Now all these are seen in Kwashiorkor. So smooth tongue, ichthyosis, and angular stomatitis are common. Cracks around the mouth, inflammation, and small cracks around the corners of the mouth, that is ichthyosis. So all these changes are seen in Kwashiorkor. Then herpes simplex stomatitis may also be seen. Then hair changes. Now hair changes, these hair changes include dyspigmentation and loss of characteristic curls and sparseness over the temples and occipital region. There is sparseness over the temples and the occipital region. The hair lose their luster and are easily pluckable. Now these are the typical hair changes which occur in Kwashiorkor. So the hairs, they lose their normal luster, they lose their normal curls, and the hairs are easily pluckable. Now the most important sign of Kwashiorkor in hair changes is flag sign. A flag sign which indicate or which is the alternate bands of hypopigmented and normally pigmented hair pattern is seen when the growth of the child occurs in the spurts. Now flag sign. A flag sign is the most common sign which is seen in Kwashiorkor, in which there is alternate bands of the hypopigmented and normally pigmented hair. Then mental changes. These include unhappiness. The child is very much unhappy, apathic, irritable, with sad intermittent cry. The child is almost unhappy. He is irritable. They show no signs of hunger and it is very difficult to feed them. Now the Kwashiorkor baby who has a fat sugar baby appearance and they appear very healthy to the parents and parents think that the child is well fed. So these children basically they show no signs of hunger. These children they never ask parents for the food. They never say that they are hungry. These children typically never show any signs of the hunger, and it is very difficult for the parents to feed the baby because the child never asks the parents that he is hungry, he wants to eat something. So parents find it difficult to feed the baby. Then neurological changes. These changes they are mostly seen during the recovery phase. Then gastrointestinal changes. In gastrointestinal changes, there is anorexia, vomiting. The child has no desire to eat, loss of appetite. Sometimes vomiting also occur. Then abdomen is distended and the stool is watery or semi-solid, bulky, and the stool contains unabsorbed sugar. Then renal function, glomerular filtration and renal plasma flow are diminished. There is aminoaciduria and inefficient excretion of the acid load. So GFR and renal plasma flow, they are diminished. These are the renal function changes. Then gastrointestinal system, as I have discussed, no desire to eat, loss of appetite, sometimes vomiting is the rule. Abdominal distension is characteristic. This we had seen in the first image. Abdomen is distended. Pot belly. Stool may be watery or semi-solid, bulky stools with low pH, and the stool contains unabsorbed sugar. These are the gastrointestinal system changes. Then anemia, it may also be seen, and anemia was already present in mild protein energy malnutrition, but in this it is present with greater severity. Then cardiovascular system, the findings include cold, pale extremities. The extremities are cold, pale due to circulatory insufficiency and are associated with prolonged circulation time, bradycardia, diminished cardiac output and hypotension. So extremities are cold, pale due to circulatory insufficiency. There is bradycardia, cardiac output is diminished and hypotension. So these are the clinical manifestations of the Kwashiorkor. Now, the third category was marasmic Kwashiorkor. The marasmic Kwashiorkor, it is the mixed form of the protein energy malnutrition. Firstly, we had discussed marasmus, then Kwashiorkor, then third is marasmic Kwashiorkor. This is the mixed form of protein energy malnutrition and manifest as edema occurring in children who may or may not have other signs of Kwashiorkor and have varied manifestations of the marasmus. So, marasmic Kwashiorkor, it is a mixed form of protein energy malnutrition, and this manifests as edema in children who have no other signs of Kwashiorkor, means edema occurring in those children who don't have any other signs of Kwashiorkor, but they have varied manifestations of the marasmus. Now, the basic difference between marasmus and Kwashiorkor is edema is absent in marasmus but present in Kwashiorkor. The activity of the child is active. In marasmic, child is alert, he is active, but the Kwashiorkor baby is apathetic, dull, irritable. Then the appetite of the marasmic child is very much good, but the appetite of the Kwashiorkor baby is poor. They show no signs of hunger. They have anorexia, but the appetite of marasmic child is good. Then liver enlargement, it is absent in marasmus, but in Kwashiorkor, liver enlargement is present. The mortality rate of marasmus is less than Kwashiorkor, and the mortality rate of Kwashiorkor is very high in the early stages. Recovery is very fast in marasmus, but recovery is very slow in the Kwashiorkor. And the marasmic child, they are less prone to get infections, but Kwashiorkor baby, they are more prone to get infections. So this was all about the clinical manifestations of moderate to severe malnutrition. Thank you.